Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today I'm looking at my top 10 notable board games that launched on Kickstarter in 2017. Now I already did a video of the top 10 highest funded board games that launched on Kickstarter in 2017. I'll have a link up here for you to look at that. But this is like the top 10 notable games. Games that did really well. They didn't make it into the top 10 highest funding, but I wanted to share some thoughts about these. And I'm going to start with the lowest funded amount board game all the way up to the highest funded amount. So let's check these out.
Number 10.
Rise of Tribes by Breaking Games raised over $386,000 with the help of almost 6,000 backers. In Rise of Tribes, players control a tribal faction in prehistoric times that's looking to grow, move, gather, and lead their people. Something notable about Rise of Tribes is that this is Breaking Games' first game that they brought to Kickstarter. Now, we were introduced to Breaking Games through Letter Tycoon. Melissa and I really enjoyed playing that game. If you haven't checked out Letter Tycoon, you can probably find that in your local board game store. But Rise of Tribes unlocked some sweet stretch goals on their campaign, and so we had to back the deluxe edition. Number 9. Cytosis by Genius Games raised $389,000 with the help of 6,650 backers. Cytosis is a worker placement game taking place inside a human cell. Players compete to build enzymes, hormones, and receptors and fend off those attacking viruses. Now, Genius Games is known for their science games. We were actually able to get a prototype of this and do a video review. It's a fun worker placement game with that science theme. One notable thing is that John produced some documentary-style videos for the campaign that was pretty cool. Cytosis is actually Genius Games' 8th game that they brought to Kickstarter, and it probably was their biggest game, so I'm glad it did well.
Number 8.
Grim Forest by Druid City Games raised $405,000 with the help of over 7,000 backers. In Grim Forest, players are competing to build a set of 3 houses quickly out of straw, wood, or brick, set in a beautiful fairyland world. We were able to play a prototype of Grim Forest, and I think the art, the theme, and the minis really won people over for Grim Forest. Now, James with Druid City Games has really done a great job communicating with his backers even after the campaign ended, and I think they're really going to be pleased with the final product. James actually ran 2 campaigns during 2017, one for Grim Forest and the other one for Guardian's Call, and I know he has a few more lined up for 2018 like Sorcerer City, so I look forward to seeing those. Number 7. Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea by Gameling Games raised $495,000 with the help of over 3,000 backers. Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea is a 4X style board game. Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. It's for 1 to 6 players that takes 2 to 3 hours to play. So the notable thing about Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea is that this is a good example of a publisher listening to the community. Now, they actually canceled their first and their second launch. They reworked it, they made the price better, they even consolidated the reward tiers, and I think they even had like an incentive for a promotional mini. I think that they were probably really discouraged having to cancel their first and their second launch, but look at the result. That's awesome.
Number 6.
Dinosaur Island by Pandasaurus Games raised $500,000 with the help of over 5,600 backers. In Dinosaur Island, players will have to collect DNA, research DNA sequences of extinct dinosaur species, and then combine the ancient DNA in the correct sequence to bring these prehistoric creatures back to life. All players will compete to build the most thrilling park each season, and then work to attract and keep alive the most visitors each season that park opens. You most likely will think of Jurassic Park when you see this. The notable thing is this is a great example of how to create a game without having to use the name of a popular franchise. I think a lot of people were gushing over the art style, those pinks and those greens. They were like vibrant and eye-catching. Personally, not for me, but that's okay. I heard the gameplay is great. Number 5. Cerebra by Mindclash Games raised over $525,000 with the help of over 5,800 backers. Cerebra is a team-based area control game for 1 to 6 players set in a person's mind reimagined as a vibrant fantasy world. Now, Cerebra came from the same company of Tricerion and Anachrony. I don't personally own Anachrony, but I've really enjoyed playing both of those games. I guess the notable thing is that I look forward to playing Cerebra sometime in the future.
Number 4.
878 Vikings by Academy Games raised over $562,000 with the help of 5,425 backers. 878 Vikings is an area control game in which 2 to 4 players play as the invading Vikings or the English nobles who are trying to withstand the invasion. Viking players control the Norsemen Viking freemen and the fearless Viking shock troops known as berserkers. The English control the king's housecarls and the landholding noblemen. Academy Games is known for their historical games, and this is the 5th game that they've launched on Kickstarter. Not their highest funded one, that was Mare Nostrum from a couple years ago, but still, this one did really, really well. I'm really glad, and I like that Academy Games has filled this niche of historical games in the world of board gaming. Number 3! Thunderstone Quest by AEG raised over $557,000 with the help of over 5,000 backers. In Thunderstone Quest, each quest consists of a selection of dungeon tiles and monster cards that create an engaging storyline. Each quest includes rules for selecting village and dungeon cards to create a variety of adventures. After you've mastered each quest, you can use random setups of quest cards to create new dungeons and villages. Build your own quests and adventures. Now, you're probably familiar with AEG. They have some pretty popular titles like Love Letter, but Thunderstone Quest might be one of their most successful games that they've ever published. And I think there's still a lot of design space that can transform this dungeon system.
Number 2.
Root by Leader Games raised over $631,000 with the help of over 8,400 backers. Will you stalk the woods as one of the vagabonds, seize the initiative with the eerie birds of prey, rule over your subjects as the Marquis de Cat, or command the Woodland Alliance to create a new order? We were able to have Patrick and Cole from Leader Games on our podcast. You can check that out as well if you haven't seen our Tantrum House Board Gaming podcast. But I think a few things drew people into this. One, I think, was the success of one of their previous games, Vast the Crystal Caverns. But I also think Root had a great art and great theme, and even those asymmetrical players. It's not just the player powers were asymmetrical, but like their whole way of playing the game was asymmetrical. Number 1! Ruby Combat Ready by Rooster Teeth raised over $795,000 with the help of over 8,600 backers. Ruby Combat Ready is a cooperative board game where 2 to 4 players join forces to take on fierce Ruby villains and slay monstrous Grimm. Now, Rooster Teeth actually teamed up with Arcane Wonders to bring this project to life. Arcane Wonders actually mailed us a few of the cards for Ruby Combat Ready game, and the cards look really cool. I think the game did so well, was so successful on Kickstarter because of that popular Ruby franchise. Well, thanks so much for watching these top 10 notable board games that launched on Kickstarter in 2017. Tell me in the comments below what games you thought were notable and why you thought they were notable. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thunderstone Quest by AEG raised over $557,000 backers with the help of over 5,000 backers. No, 500,000. Wow, that's a lot of backers. Root by Leader Games raised over $631,000 with the help of a lot of backers. 8,454. 8,600. 8,600!